starting last year and all the way through the beginning of 2023, I went on an absolutely epic buying spree in regards to stocks. But by the end of the first quarter in 2023, I'd honestly basically completely stopped buying stocks. That was until the past few weeks where my buy button basically got revived back to life and I started buying a ton of stocks again. So I'll tell you some of the stocks that I've been buying specifically, but I'll also kind of give you some facts around why I started buying right now, why I stopped buying, and kind of package it all together into one package here so that way you have all that information to help you with your investing. And the pinned comment down there is my new channel that's covering retirement, finance, financial independence, all kinds of stuff like that. Just check out the pinned comment down there. So as many of you guys may remember, last year was just absolutely crazy. I have personally never bought more stocks than I did last year, and so did many of our group members and many of you guys out there too. We put more money into stocks than we have ever put in our entire lives. And I've been doing this for 20 plus years, and I've never put more money into the stock market than I did last year. And for context, just in the last quarter of last year and the beginning of the first quarter of this year, I bought 20 different times I bought Tesla stock. I made 13 separate buys of Google. I made 7 different buys of Meta stock during that time. I made 10 buys of Amazon during that time. And I also bought too many. I couldn't even go back and count. There was just too many of SoFi, Palantir, a whole bunch of other stocks like that. All of them, just a ton of buys during that time on all those stocks. But that buying spree pretty much dried up pretty quickly right there at the end of the first quarter where it basically went almost down to zero. I only made 2 total buys in April, and that was followed up by 8 buys in May, which then was followed up by just 1 buy in June, which was followed up by 0 buys in July, and then only 4 in August before picking back up in September and on into October here. But this is where the 3 facts about this buying spree come in specifically, and we'll mix in the stocks that I've been buying as well as I kind of work through those points. And yes, you can see all those buys in real time and my exact price targets for all the stocks that we're going to talk about today and a bunch of other stocks as well, as I left the sale up for my group because some of you guys asked for it, so I left it up here just a little bit longer. So make sure you take advantage if you want to learn exactly how to plan, exactly how to get a price target, exactly how to do evaluation. Basically have a group of 6 and 7 figure investors and myself helping you develop all those skills and develop all those targets. And you get direct access to me, our stock analyzer tool for free, all my watch list with price targets. I mean, everything, guys. Just check out the pinned comment down there. There's so much involved. You want to make sure you're a part of it before that price goes up. So fact number 1 is my plan played out perfectly last year and into this year so far. Because of the planning that I always do, when basically all the penny stocks and all the hype stock movement and everything else just basically got red hot in the market, instead of buying into that hype, I was busy pooling up cash and just pulling up cash. I didn't know specifically what was going to happen. I just knew my plan told me, don't buy this hype, just pull up cash from now, you're going to get an opportunity. Which basically meant I was ready to buy and buy and buy as the market got dumber and dumber and dumber and the deals got bigger and bigger and bigger. That's exactly how you end up buying more stocks than you've ever bought in your life, basically depleting my cash down to virtually zero. I mean, it was kind of one of those deals I'm kind of pulling from other cash instruments and other things like that in order to continue to buy. And then guess what happened? The market went on a rip-roaring run at the beginning of this year. So I implemented basically the same exact plan again. I stopped buying. I had no need to chase any of these stocks. I just basically stopped buying and started pulling up my cash and waiting for the next opportunity that the market was going to give me. Doesn't mean I wasn't taking advantage of that, but clearly when I'm making, 25 buys in a month back when it was red hot, and then I go to a month where I'm only buying twice, that's a huge difference there in terms of buys. And obviously the dollar amounts during that time, especially whenever we were at the 25 buys in a month, those were huge buys. They were basically max buys. Everything I could pour into it, I was pouring into it. So you see how you're able to pool a lot of cash whenever you plan it out that way and have your price targets and everything else and have it all planned out accordingly. Which pulling up that cash, once again, allowed me to take advantage of the opportunities that are just now hitting us here in the stock market. I'm able to take advantage and buying up stocks like Coca-Cola, who's in just a vicious downtrend, really. It really hadn't even done anything to deserve that downtrend outside of being overvalued at the time. That's all they've done. And also buy a stock like 3M, where, yeah, they had some legal problems, but they were disproportionately beat down for those problems. And so now I'm able to pick up those shares on the cheap as well. They're both basically great long-term dividend plays, which kind of dovetails directly into my plan that I set out at the beginning of this year before I knew any of these stocks were going to fall down. I set out a goal to build out a huge dividend portfolio to kind of add another pillar of income in regards to my life circumstances. So I basically have, my businesses that I run that provides one source of income. I have real estate and that provides another source of income. And then basically I kind of wanted a dividend income over here coming in as well, just kind of like as a backup in case these two things fail, your real estate fails and all my businesses fail. Hey, great. I still have a nice dividend portfolio over here specifically for that. I own some dividend plays. They get nice dividends, but I wanted to really beef it up over here. And I set out that goal at the beginning of the year to do that. If you don't believe me, ask my group. I laid out the complete plan to the group. Then I did my study and my work. I created my price targets, gave the reasons why I wanted those stocks in my portfolio, specifically how they kind of serve those goals for that portfolio, and then basically set my price targets there. And then I waited patiently for my price targets to hit. Now, I know some of you guys that have been following me for a while hate it whenever I say have a plan and stick to it. But this is exactly why I preach it so hard, because it kept me out of trouble in 2021 during the hype run. It allowed me to buy like crazy despite all the fear, all the ridiculousness that was going on last year. It allowed me to kind of lay off again here in 2022 or 2023 as the year began and pull up cash to once again start taking advantage of the market right now. Having a plan for me makes the difference between success and regret in regards to investing. So fact number 2 is I will not time the bottom at all. I probably won't even get close. Heck, do we need any more proof that nobody can time the bottom other than the past last year or so? I mean, everybody was out there, YouTubers, CNBCers, the whole nine, making prediction after prediction after prediction. And even if they got kind of right, they just couldn't help themselves. They had to continue to make predictions to where eventually everything was a mess. Everybody was wrong. And I'm going to be like Warren Buffett and Peter Lynch and other folks who say, hey, I can't time the bottom. I can't time the market. I have no idea where it's going in the short term. So I'm not even going to try. I'd rather be like those guys than everybody else. In regards to the stocks that I've been buying right now, I just knew where fair value was, and I knew I didn't want to pay more than fair value for those stocks. So I waited until they've hit fair value, and some of those stocks are finally hitting fair value. But guess what? That doesn't mean they're not going to continue to go lower. Now, they may not. They may hold. They may move up. Who knows? I don't know. I just know that it's time for me to start my modified DCA whenever they hit fair value according to my evaluation of the stock. And that's exactly what I'm starting to do. So I'm looking at a stock like Target specifically that, hey, fell from those crazy highs, 30% or more down to, where my price target was. And now I'm able to gradually add as it continues to fall lower. Remember, it doesn't matter if a stock's fallen 30% or 75% because it can still be overvalued in the first place. And since Target kind of just now got into fair value range and I bought, it means it's inevitably going to go lower, which means I didn't time the bottom and I'm okay with that. So I guess I'll just have to buy more shares cheaper because nobody knows how low it's going to go. And fact number 3 is I have no idea how long this downtrend is actually going to last. This one is critical for you to understand and follow me till the end here, guys. I know you guys are going, yeah, Luca, that's obvious. Come on, just follow me till the end here so that way you can avoid a lot of landmines and a lot of mistakes along the way. These discounts on these stocks that we've been talking about today could last another couple of months. It could last through 2024 into 2025. The reality is nobody knows. But what I do know is I don't want to be left behind like all the folks last year who completely whiffed on Tesla in the 100s or Meta in the 80s or Palantir in the 6s or any of those other things like that because it might go lower or a recession is coming or anything else. A lot of folks are stuck chasing as these stocks ran up because they didn't buy when they were low. Trying to chase stocks when they're running up, and some folks are saying it's going to fall back down. In Palantir's example, it ran up over 10. Oh, don't worry, it's going to fall back down to 7, and now it's approaching 20. I don't think we're going to get that fall back down to 7. Maybe it's possible. That would be great. But being in that position of chasing a stock or trying to figure out what it's going to do next, man, that is an awful position to be in. And I was so glad I was just buying back then because I didn't know whether it was really going to go lower or not. I didn't think we were going to have a recession in 2023. But, everybody throws up all these pretty charts and graphs and, this, inverted curve says this and this, 1969 says this. And I don't know. There's just tons of ridiculous stuff out there that I chose to just simply look at valuation, follow my plan and execute. And now I'm in a spot where I'm not having to chase those stocks. The point being, I don't want to be in that boat in regards to stocks because I don't know how long these downtrends are going to last, which everybody found out last year. You have no idea if you're in a PayPal type situation where we're at a year plus of being able to buy this stock stupid cheap. And who knows when the end of that time frame is going to be before it finally runs again. Or are we in more of a meta style situation where you just had a few months to add at stupid low prices before it basically rocketed back up in 4x from that bottom. So I'm simply executing my buys on stocks like Starbucks because, hey, who knows what's going to happen in the next few months? For all I know, they could have a great earnings. And right now is the last time period I had to buy that stock under $100 for the foreseeable future. Nobody knows. So I'm simply executing my buys as I get an opportunity on these stocks that I want to own long term. Hey, I can't time the bottom and I have no idea how long it's going to last. So I'm just simply going to execute so that way I'm not stuck chasing later on. And remember, if you want to see all my buy and sells in real time, see my watch list complete with price targets, learn exactly how to do everything we discussed today, make sure you take advantage of the sale for my group that ends tomorrow, where you get access directly to me. You can take 5 courses for free. We have tons of exclusive videos, the best 6, 7, and 8-figure Discord out there. We have a stock analyzer tool that you can use completely for free and a ton more. Just make sure you check out the pinned comment down there and get your membership before that price goes up. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market. And click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.